9DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. The music industry is still trying to figure out how to grapple with AI. Some artists say it helps them streamline the creative process, but others are worried about how easy it might be to create fakes. Grammy Award-winning producer Timbaland, for one, says he thinks AI is a useful tool for artists. He's not worried about AI replacing producers like him, even if the tech is able to mimic his sound.
He's never going to give you me unless you know how I think. You know, everybody taste ain't great. You know what I'm saying? There are people that make stuff that they like to make music, but it ain't good music.
In fact, the thing Timbaland is most worried about is how AI could discourage collaboration. He told Bloomberg that as much as he thinks AI would have been helpful during his hit-making heyday, the connections he made with other artists is way more important to him.
The reason why I'm glad that it wasn't back then, because it wouldn't allow me to collaborate with people. If it was available back then, it would have been like me and the machine.
I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite. Now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 1/13 through 1/24. Cannot be combined with additional discounts while supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Something amazing is happening here. Scientists are using AI to study how whales talk to each other. CDW experts can give researchers the power to process complex data with HP workstations, advanced by AMD Ryzen Threadripper Pro processors. With easier handling of AI workloads, your organization can bring powerful insights to the surface. Make amazing happen. HP, AMD, and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/HPAMD.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect that of the staff and management of Good Karma Brands, but are the sole responsibility of the host and guests of this particular show.
America may have many, many days, but they will be full of trouble. There will be no rest. There will be no tranquility in this country until the nation comes to terms with our problems.
Bringing you social and political commentary from his mouth to your ears. Breaking down the issues which matter to you.
You are not put here to be a white man's footstool. You are put here to represent the very best in God's word.
Legendary civil rights icon, the Reverend Jesse Jackson in the studio. Reverend Jackson, how are you?
Mr. Reverend, good morning on this chilly Milwaukee morning.
And I am pleased to have one of the founding members of the Black Panther Party, Chairman Bobby Seale. Mr. Chairman, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
From Mr. Eric Holder. Mr. Holder, so good to see you. How are you?
Well, I'm fine, man. How you been? It's been a long time. Haven't seen you for a while.
The Dr. Cornell West. Dr. West, how are you, sir?
My dear brother, you're so kind, you're so generous, so man, but I salute you and the work that you were doing there. Doing a magnificent job there in Wisconsin.
Stream live on 1017thetruth.com. Call in with your questions or comments. 833-212-1017. Join us on social media at 1017thetruth. It may not be what you expect to hear, but I will definitely give you what you need to know. Are you ready for the truth?
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Sherwin Hughes.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is a very unusual, strange Monday, January 20th, 2025. Every so often, we have these moments in history, these inflection points, where so many different elements come together. And dare I say, today is one of those days. We commemorate the life and birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King. I gave more of my detailed perspective on my complicated understanding of Dr. King and his interaction and intersections with this country on Friday. I likely will not rehash some of my more raw and unfiltered sentiments about what America did to Dr. King. Let us rejoice in this day, and let us take time to thank those that have done so much for our advancement, not just black people, but all people. Let's commemorate the hope for the future because we're going to need it. I would like to be decidedly more optimistic on today's program because I do want to give respect and credence to the legacy of Dr. King. But do not forget that this day is still celebrating a man that was murdered by the United States of America. And I got some details about what the House Committee on Assassinations determined 11 years after King's death, that James Earl Ray probably didn't do it, but we'll delve into that later. The other intersections of history that we must make note on this very unusual day, you have these two very separate worlds. One is walking away and one is entering. You have the ending of the Biden presidency, which is done in roughly 2 hours, an hour and 54 minutes and about 40 seconds here, Central Standard Time. Where did Joe Biden spend the last waning hours and days of his presidency? We're going to talk about that. And then, of course, the inauguration of the most unlikely political comeback I think that any of us could ever hope to witness in our lifetimes. Donald Trump will be sworn in and inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States. I want to give a particular amount of time to that because Donald Trump is going to get to work immediately. I have heard the minimum number of 50, the maximum number in upwards of 200 executive orders that Donald Trump is going to sign today alone, some of which will be legally binding, some will be symbolic. But the theme of his executive orders that he's going to sign just today alone, first of all, it's a dizzying pace to where the media will not be able to cover everything this man is doing. And I want us to have a new standard for how we look at and interpret this next Donald Trump administration, because they are going to bombard us with so many things and the outrageous and the absurd. And he's going to give speeches and he's going to do things that you wouldn't think that a president can do. I fear that he is smarter now. He knows what he can and can't get away with. He tried a whole bunch of stuff in 2020, didn't he? Got caught. They tried to put him in jail. Now, since he essentially is exonerated from all of that, I even have a story here that says the state charges brought against Donald Trump in Georgia, state charges are charges he cannot pardon himself from, because in Georgia, when he was asking for those 11,779 votes, remember he was on the phone with either the Secretary of State of Georgia or the governor. Remember that? That was a case that the Georgia courts could have seen to fruition. Well, we come to find out that decision has been appealed and he has been exonerated from that state charge in Georgia, rather, trying to overturn the 2020 election by asking for enough popular votes to give him the electoral college count in Georgia. So Donald Trump gets essentially a clean slate. And I don't think that he's going to waste it. He also knows that the writing is likely on the wall for him come the midterm elections of 2026, because the American people and our republic cannot handle the dizzying rate in which he is going to try and make very unusual and very unorthodox change to our nation. Here's the thing about America. Stuff don't really move fast. History takes a long time. If you want progress, you got to dedicate your life to it. Nothing happens overnight. He is going to try and make things happen overnight. Received some information that the raids on immigrants, undocumented folk, are going to start within the next 24 hours, and they're going to begin in the city of Chicago. So we're going to keep our eyes on that as well. Something else that took place over the weekend. So much stuff is going on, y'all. So they banned TikTok for a couple of hours. Y'all had a fit. I saw people crying. I saw people getting upset. I saw a tremendous amount of emotion. I saw more emotion on the temporary banning of TikTok. Oh, FYI, it was a stunt. It was a stunt. TikTok did that. Thank you, Zech. Zech is going to be producing the show while Ricky is in Atlanta for the next couple of days doing the only thing I can describe as hood rat stuff. So I don't know what Ricky's doing in Atlanta. I actually don't care. He texted me this morning, told me to have a good show, and he also bookended his statement with the N-word. So, well, no, that's just how we do it on MLK Day amongst the blacks. So TikTok went down temporarily There's a story that went national from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. A 19-year-old man who they say was motivated by the stunt banning of TikTok attempted to set fire to a member of Congress's office. I got that story for you. The ban wasn't even real. Joe Biden, who had signed this bill into law, I think in April of last year, April of 2024, Donald Trump actually signed an executive order looking to ban TikTok back in 2020. So if you want to look at where all this began, this started with Trump. Well, it was determined that the company ByteDance is connected to TikTok, and ByteDance is loyal to the Chinese Communist government, and the TikTok app via ByteDance is taking all this information and data from Americans, and the Chinese government is using it to their advantage. So that is the impetus for the ban. But I come to find out Americans don't even care. They don't care. We do not care who has our data because we think that we are freely sharing all of the information that we want people to know. Because think about what you share on the Instagrams, on the Facebooks, on the used to be called Twitter, now it's called X. And because we so openly and freely share so many things, when we are told that our data is also being shared, we believe it's the data that we are opting to share. It is not. The Chinese government has your nudes, which is disgusting because some of you should not ever take nudes. Joe Biden said within the last, 168 hours, give or take, that he was going to leave it up to the incoming administration to enforce the TikTok ban, meaning there was a bill signed into law, but Joe Biden, who was the signatory on that bill, said, I'm going to step back and let the incoming administration deal with this. In these quote-unquote peaceful transfers of power, you will sometimes have an outgoing administration defer big, controversial political and policy decisions to the incoming administration, meaning Joe Biden and his administration was not enforcing nor requiring TikTok to go dark. And did you notice something? It was supposed to go dark on the 19th. By law, it was supposed to go bye-bye on the 19th. TikTok went offline on the 18th. On Saturday, they did that as a stunt. Now, depending upon where you were in the country or the world, you got an error message. I don't have the TikToks. I got rid of my TikToks in 2023, and I feel better. I'm happier. I feel stronger. I'm more mentally stable. My blood pressure is lower. I'm very happy. I think me deleting the TikTok app off of my phone lowered my cholesterol. My smile is brighter. I'm more virile as a man. You know what I mean? I'm better in the bedroom now because I deleted the TikTok. No, seriously, my health actually has improved because I deleted the TikToks. What'd you send me, Zach? A message?
Like what was on the app when you opened it?
Oh, yeah. So one of the messages says, blah, 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 blah. I'll look at what you said in a second. I'm going to do this from memory. Because of, U.S. law, TikTok has been suspended, banned, whatever the case may be. But then there's another one that said, we're hoping that President Trump will work with us in reinstating TikTok. All of it is a stunt. But the worst part about all of that is that in the very brief amount of time that TikTok was offline, someone got so upset that they committed an act of terrorism and trying to burn down. This is arson. Arson is a federal offense. If you get convicted for arson, you don't get parole. This 19-year-old man was so distressed about TikTok being temporarily suspended that he tried to burn down Congressman Glenn Grothman's office in Fond du Lac. So there's a lot happening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do our level best to give respect to all of the things happening today, the ending of the Biden presidency, the beginning of Donald Trump's second term, and also the irreverent Dr. Martin Luther King, as today is the day in which we celebrate and commemorate him, not forgetting that America killed him. So we're going to tie all these things together, and hopefully we'll be much better off at the end of the show than we are at the beginning. And the show is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King described a true education as one successfully combining intelligence and character. Concordia University prepares learners for meaningful lives of leadership and service to meet all of life's callings. They offer world-class programs online and face-to-face in a faith-based, student-focused environment. Classes are small, opportunities endless. Visit cuw.edu to learn more. 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris is at the MLK Prayer Breakfast event at Concordia. This is an invitation-only event. We invite you to listen to the event live on The Truth Saturday, January 20th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. This brunch at Concordia University, hosted by Walter Goodwin, the director of the Office of Multicultural Engagement, and is a gathering honoring Dr. Martin Luther King, a time of reflection and prayer, Saturday, January 20th. The theme this year, it is written based on the scripture in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future."
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
The Greater Milwaukee Urban League is celebrating 105 years of legacy and impact. The 105th year milestone community engagement campaign is a mission-driven effort to support employment, education, advocacy, and entrepreneurship initiatives. Together, they can continue their impact and legacy. Join them in raising $1.5 million. Text 105 to 41444 to make a secure online donation today. Visit TMUL.org for more information.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I know you're asking today, how long will it take? Somebody's asking, how long will prejudice blind the visions of men? I come to say to you this afternoon, however difficult the moment, yes, sir, however frustrating the hour, it will not be long, because truth crushed earth will rise again. Yes, sir. How long? Not long. Yes, sir. Because no lie can live forever. Yes, sir. How long? Not long. How long? Because you shall reap what you sow. Yes, sir. How long? Not long. How long? Truth forever on the scaffold, wrong forever on the throne. Yes, that scaffold sways the future. Yes. Behind the dim unknown standeth God within the shadow, keeping watch above his own. How long? Not long. Because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Yes, how long? Not long. Not long. Because mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. Yes, he's trampling out the village where the grapes of wrath are stored. Yes, he's loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. Yes, his truth is marching on. Yes, he has sounded forth the trumpet that shall never call retreat. He is sifting out the hearts of men before his judgment seat. Oh, be swift, my soul, to answer him. Be too under my feet. Our God is marching on. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on.
Welcome back to the program. That was Dr. King. We will be featuring excerpts of some of his more powerful oration during segments on the show. Now, let's go to North Charleston, South Carolina. U.S. President Joe Biden urged despondent fellow Democrats not to give up hope as he returned to the warm embrace of South Carolina's black church-going community to mark the final full day of his presidency, which was yesterday. Biden leaves office today, ending a 4-year term that leaves his Democratic Party in the political wilderness when he hands the office back to Republican rival Donald Trump, whom Democrats consider a threat to democracy. At the Royal Missionary Baptist Church in North Charleston, Biden was remembered fondly by political allies and received a standing ovation from church attendees. Do y'all remember when James Clyburn basically resurrected Joe Biden's campaign in 2019? If it was not for James Clyburn, who we interviewed here on 101.7 The Truth, I don't know if Joe Biden would have had the momentum or the motivation to continue with his run, which ultimately led to the defeat of Donald Trump in 2020. So Joe Biden choosing to go back to the place where it all started is very poignant. There is some progress that I believe was made in the Biden administration, and it wasn't progress on science and understanding of vaccines. And yes, there's been some legal, traction made on things like climate change, et cetera, et cetera. But the progress that I think that has been made is prior to Joe Biden's presidency, which was wild, unconventional, controversial. We had to deal with the dissolution of the republic, and we had to deal with Donald Trump and the big lie in January 6, 2021. All of the things. Oh, don't forget about COVID. Had to deal with rising interest rates, rising inflation, and rising prices. So many things that took place, not to mention how the country was split because of the murder of George Floyd. Joe Biden entered into the White House with all of these controversies, okay? Prior to that, whatever people knew of Joe Biden was probably few and far between, other than him being Barack Obama's vice president for 8 years, where if you think back, Joe Biden didn't make a lot of noise, did he? And he's a noise-making president. Now, in his advanced age, his noises are a little bit quieter now. He always ends his punctuation with a raised eyebrow like a question. Yeah, it is, isn't it? We're going to fix all this stuff. We're going to fix the democracy. Yeah, we will, won't we? People used to call Joe Biden a racist. That is what we knew of him. And even when he was campaigning against Barack Obama in 2008, because Joe Biden had entered that Democratic primary as well, so did Hillary Clinton. Ah, poor Hillary. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. God bless you, Hillary Clinton, wherever you are. Well, she's going to be at the inauguration, actually. Hillary Clinton is going to be at the second inauguration of Donald Trump. We're going to talk about Kamala Harris, too, because she ain't having a good day. She's going to be at the inauguration, too. There's no way she's happy about this, because how do you not attend this inauguration today and think, that should be me? Kamala probably had her outfit picked out. The progress that I am proud that we made as a nation is that there are fewer people accusing Joe Biden of being a racist. Prior to him becoming the 46th president of the United States, we knew of him as Barack Obama's loyal and faithful vice president. But even during that campaign, when there was a Democratic primary for president in 2008, Joe Biden had said some things about Barack Obama that were considered racially insensitive. He's clean and articulate. And I come to find out, old white men have a different perspective on the vernacular that they use. To Joe Biden, that was not an insult. But to us in the modern era, you don't say that a educated law school graduate, lawyer, former state senator, former U.S. Senator Barack Obama is clean and articulate. Well, of course he is. And then prior to that, all we knew of Joe Biden, really for the most part, was his participation in the 1994 crime bill. And everybody thought anyone and everyone who participated in that legislation, which led to the mass incarceration of many, many African Americans, we thought those people were racist. I personally believe that moniker bestowed upon Joe Biden of him being a racist, and also how he talked to Anita Hill when Anita Hill was testifying during Clarence Thomas's Supreme Court confirmations back in 1991, and Joe Biden was very tough on Anita Hill. And if I'm not mistaken, Joe Biden very well may have voted for Clarence Thomas in 1991 when he was confirmed by George H.W. Bush to the U.S. Supreme Court. I think it bothered Joe Biden that he was called and considered a racist. I think it bothered Joe Biden in his very long and complicated legacy as U.S. Senator, Vice President, and President that he had ill will toward African Americans. In the amount of years I have been studying presidential history, there has not been another person who has nominated more black people, in particular black women, to some of the most powerful positions throughout the whole of the federal government, including a black woman to the U.S. Supreme Court, including a black woman who was named as his vice presidential nominee, who he then gave the bank account that $200 million that mostly he raised, turned all that money over to Kamala Harris with, 100 or something days left until the election. That is a monumental feat. Appoints Lloyd Austin to lead the Department of Defense, the first time that has ever happened. So I think that he did some good, hopefully, to solidify his legacy, which we won't know or have a concept of Joe Biden's legacy for probably 20 plus years from now. Quote, we often reflect on resurrection and redemption, but remember, Jesus was buried on Friday and he rose on Sunday, Biden told black churchgoers from the pulpit. We don't talk enough about that Saturday when his disciples felt all hope was lost. His remarks came amid major developments in the waning hours of his presidency, including a long-sought ceasefire and hostage deal in Gaza, an issue that has loomed over the last 15 months of his presidency. I'm going to say to you, great friend, very little appreciation has been shown recently, but faint not, history will be very kind to you, said Representative Jim Clyburn, who spoke before Biden, remembering sour early appraisals of Abraham Lincoln, Harry Truman, and Lyndon Johnson. Biden alluded to bitter political disappointment following his withdrawal last summer from the race for a second term in office over concerns about his age and performance on the campaign trail, but suggested he intended to stay in the public eye as his term ends. When I think back to one of those incredibly ironic moments in American political history, Joe Biden had a bad debate. It was really bad, though. He kind of got lost in the wilderness for a moment. I still can think back and remember how that was the moment where Joe Biden lost the presidency. He either lost in November had he continued, because he didn't want to get out of the race. I don't know if y'all know that. Because that debate that Joe Biden, remember that? He's, and it just got more and more awkward, more and more uncomfortable as he was searching for the words, and then finally something came to his mind. We saved Medicare. And then immediately the camera turned to Trump. Trump could have pounced on Joe Biden because, you know, Trump takes every opportunity to be mean, disrespectful, and condescending, and Trump didn't take the bait. Now, at some point in the debate between those two, the fatal debate, the Mortal Kombat debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, where Trump finished Biden, Trump said, I don't think he knows what he's talking about. I don't think he even knows where he is. But that was about as far as Donald Trump went with his quips, because at that moment, Trump knew. He knew. He didn't need to gloat. He didn't need to insult Joe Biden. It's almost like there was a moment of sympathy for Joe Biden from Donald Trump. It was either sympathy or it was a relatable moment, because I know Trump has had a bunch of senior moments before. How do I know? I saw his convention speech here in Milwaukee, which was a meandering bowl of mumbo jumbo that went on for an hour or more. Hulk Hogan ripped off his shirt at Donald Trump's coronation to be the Republican nominee. So nothing is orthodox here about what is happening with this incoming president. In my opinion, no president can be perfect. What they can do is they can set a tone for how we all should be more perfect. And if Joe Biden was hampered by his early legacy of maybe being unkind or unfair to black people, I think that he has made some good progress in reversing that legacy, especially with his connection to South Carolina churchgoers and Jim Clyburn, where it all essentially started for Joe Biden, because when he had that moniker of being a racist because of some of his early political misgivings, he needed black people, he needed the black church, and he needed the kingmaker of Jim Clyburn to tell America that Joe Biden is okay. He is a friend of mine. Sometimes black people, in order to gain credibility, need a powerful and influential white person to vouch for them. I've seen it my entire life. And then there are other times when white people need a very powerful and influential black person to vouch for them. And Jim Clyburn did that for Joe Biden. And in return, student debt forgiveness, while you may not have seen the benefits of that policy, you probably weren't supposed to, because that was one that was for black women as well. Bet you didn't know that the demographic group in this country that were most hampered by student loan debt, black women. So you notice a theme in the Biden presidency. It was to give respect and opportunity to black women who we know have been most marginalized in our country. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on an Inauguration Day, MLK Day, last day of the Biden presidency day. We're going to try and bring you Donald Trump's inauguration speech because we got to hear it. I know you may not want to hear it. We got to hear what he's going to say, because what he says and however long he's going to speak for is the trajectory of our country for the foreseeable future. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He has inspired generations of change leaders, and many more are to come. Let's celebrate his legacy by enjoying incredible speeches by Milwaukee Public Schools students.
For the past few months, we have been in a time of extreme divisiveness and hostility. In all of the chaos, I find that I'm itching to get out there and make myself heard, to gratify my yearning for involvement. I'm so enthralled with desperately hoping that I'll make the right choices in the future that I fail to recognize the fact that I have the power to ensure that success now. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, we are faced with the fact that tomorrow is today. We are confronted with the fierce urgency of now. In this unfolding conundrum of life and history, there is such a thing as being too late. We need to take action, for ourselves and for each other. How will you help the people around you if you aren't willing to change? People are stronger when united. We dream and we try and we fail and we grow, but we do it together. What's important is that when someone asks you the question, what are you doing for others? You'll be able to say that you're changing. The best thing you can do for someone else isn't about material things or getting recognition for good deeds. It's letting someone make an impression on you. Letting someone challenge the way you see things. Letting someone change you, change your perspective. So consider the minor happenings a little more. Just flashing a smile at a stranger. A small change in your demeanor, and that person will be thinking about your kindness for the rest of their day. All it takes is a split second more consideration. That's all it really is. A thought. A change. A brilliant, shining chance to do what you can for others. Take it.
Marcus Performing Arts Center and We Energies are proud to sponsor the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Speech Contest. Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free Truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm also going to be featuring music from the year 1968, as that was the year that Dr. King was felled by an assassin's bullet. So we're going to try and give some respect to history and nostalgia on this very complicated of American historical days, where we are commemorating the birthday, the life, the legacy of Dr. King, the inauguration of Donald Trump, and the ending of the Joe Biden presidency. And TikTok is back, everyone. So I know that's probably the most important thing for some of you. I have the monitors are on here, of course, with different news stations on here in the studio. And I just witnessed something that I wish I could have been a fly on the wall or a fly in Mike Pence's hair. Remember when Mike Pence did the debate with Kamala Harris and he had a fly that landed on his hair? That's another weird moment in this era of presidential history. I just saw Kamala Harris, outgoing vice president, get into a limo with incoming Vice President J.D. Vance. In fact, J.D. Vance, opened the door for Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, which I think was a beautiful gesture of diplomacy, considering they were running against each other just a few short months ago, and J.D. Vance, in combination with Donald Trump, got the best of Kamala Harris. Where's Tim Walz at? Anybody know? Somebody should check on him, make sure he's okay. Haven't heard from him in a while. You can't just be out front in American politics every single day, Tim Walz, and then all of a sudden disappear. And maybe he was or was not the right selection for Kamala Harris, but there was a bunch of calculus involved in who he was and where he was from and all the different elements that he himself encapsulated in the man that he was in an attempt to find common ground with different stripes of Americans that Kamala Harris may not have been able to relate to, and vice versa. He, upper Midwestern guy, she's a Californian, career politician, former U.S. senator, former district attorney, former attorney general of California, in which Kamala Harris made some pretty controversial decisions as well, including she authorized the release of some inmates to fight California wildfires when she was Attorney General of the state of California. And people thought, oh, that's terrible that she's making these inmates fight fires when she was Attorney General. That has been a law on the books in California for decades, if not a century or more. So people tried to hang that one on Kamala Harris, making these inmates go and fight wildfires. Do y'all know that being an inmate, being incarcerated, is a form of slavery? You do realize that, and it's enumerated in the Constitution. Because someone is incarcerated, you can require them to do anything. You can require them to work. Sometimes they get a menial wage. Sometimes they work for free. But prisoners are American labor. Meaning when the prison population goes up in this country and it waxes and wanes, America has free labor. You do not have to take my word for it. In fact, I would rather you not take my word for it. Someday when you have time, Look up the number of American corporations that have used and benefited from prison labor. Oh, no, not Walmart. Oh, no, not Starbucks. Oh, no, not Victoria's Secret. And while all of you people are blaming undocumented immigrants and migrants for taking your jobs, it's not. A lot of times it's prisoners. Why would Victoria's Secrets or McDonald's or Walmart hire you when they can get labor to build some of their products from prisoners? Think about that. Why would we raise your minimum wage? Think about this practically now, not emotionally. Americans think because we are suffering, somebody in government is supposed to care. The care has to come from us as voters. The care is never going to come from them. We have to be the ones to tell the government what to care about, but there's been a real weird reversal of fortune, and we're going to feel it over these next couple of years. Instead of us telling the government what it needs to do for us, this government is now going to tell us what it is going to do to us. You don't think so? Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg, you don't think so? When they complete the Starlink, have you guys heard about the Starlink where I think it might be Verizon, maybe it's T-Mobile, they are going to, their cell service that they offer to their customers is going to be directly connected to Elon Musk's system of satellites that hover over the earth. So our telecommunications, our social media interactions via Meta, and a lot of the things that we purchase in this consumer economy through Amazon, those are going to be the people that are going to have a disproportionate amount of influence over the government. And here's what's crazy. Between those three individual men, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeff Bezos, they own us. They own our money, our communications, our data, and they're going to be the ones making policy. We, as the American people, and maybe you don't care about this because some of y'all are emotionless, are no longer in the driver's seat. And maybe we never were. But now we're not even in the passenger seat. We're not even in the back seat. The American people, this democracy and this republic is now in the trunk, being held hostage, going to a destination yet unknown. We're in the trunk of our own republic, blindfolded and handcuffed. We probably have to use the bathroom. Donald Trump is driving. Elon Musk is in the passenger seat. Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos are sitting in the back seat, probably with their pants off. I don't know what they're doing, but they are driving this American republic to a destination that we don't know. And some of you think it might be worth it to be tied up in the trunk of our own republic, our own democracy, because eggs are going to be cheaper. Let me tell you something. If eggs aren't 99 cents by the end of today, you ain't going to want to hear me tomorrow. But Sherwin, eggs are too expensive. I got to vote for Trump. Okay, all right, I'm going to give you that. I'm going to humor you. When I go to the store tomorrow, I better be able to get 100 dozen eggs for $9. Because for some of y'all, it was worth it. Donald Trump's presidential inauguration ceremony is scheduled to begin at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time in Washington, with his swearing in set to take place around noon, which is 11 o'clock our time, and we're going to do our level best to bring you that pomp and circumstance and at least some part of his speech. We have to have it on record, right? I want my program that I did January 20th, 2025 to feature at least some part of Donald Trump's inaugural address, because when this program we are doing right now is listened to 20 years from now or 30 years from now or 40 years from now, and America takes a reflection back as to where we were and who we were and what we were doing in the beginning of Donald Trump's 47th term, I want that to be documented for the future, because man, oh man, are they going to be mean to us. Imagine 40 years from now how they're going to look back on this era of American history. And I reference this all of the time because some of you may think that I'm speaking to you right now in the present day, and I am in real time. And if you haven't done so, you can join us on YouTube. Go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device. Search 1017 The Truth, and you can join us live in studio. But I'm not just talking to you right now in real time. I'm talking to the future. And every so often, I throw in an apology because they're going to look back on this era between 2015, when Trump came down that escalator, and whatever happens in the foreseeable future with this 47th term of this man, and they're going to say, what were you all thinking? And what's going to be our excuse? What's going to be our excuse? Well, Kamala tried to beat him. Beyonce got paid some money. We tried to get. Megan Thee Stallion performed and twerked at a Kamala rally. We thought that. Well, Kamala was on with Ben and Carrie a couple of times. Maybe we thought that. We don't have an excuse for how we let our democracy get away from us. Because what they would have learned in the future, when they will be so incredibly critical of this particular time in American history, is they would have learned to implement the safeguards that would ever prevent an authoritarian from getting elected president in this country in the first damn place. We don't have those tools yet. We need to go through this hellfire to see what is left of our democracy that we can piece together like a patchwork quilt of despair and try and figure out how our democracy fertilizes the soil for a dictator. We didn't see it coming. We didn't study history. Memory is a gift when you think about it. To remember atrocities that have taken place in the past and to keep those memories fresh and enshrine them in literature and in art and in culture is to be reminded to never go through those things ever again. Our memory is faulty. This nation's got a collective set of dementia and Alzheimer's symptoms. The 45th soon-to-be 47 president's return to the White House marks the end of Joe Biden's single-term presidency. Trump is expected to sign more than 50 executive orders today. In fact, I've heard as many as 200, including some focused on mass deportations and gutting climate initiatives. Trump announced Friday that his inauguration ceremony would be held inside the Capitol Rotunda, rather outside the building's west front, citing dangerously cold temperatures. Take a little break, come back. Going to talk about Kamala Harris greeting incoming Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife, who's an immigrant herself, isn't she? Isn't she an immigrant? She's an Indian lady. Shout out to the Indian women making progress in America. Remember Nikki Haley? Of course you don't. She thought she was going to be president. Then her hopes were dashed. Donald Trump berated her. Then she went around and swallowed her pride and endorsed him. Then you have Kamala Harris, where black people got mad because Kamala Harris said, and she was sworn into the Senate, she was the first Indian American to be sworn into the Senate. Of course, black folks got mad about that. And then you have J.D. Vance's wife, whose name I won't even attempt to pronounce, but she's an Indian lady too. Shout out to the Indian ladies. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin showroom today so you can learn the Pella difference and get inspired on making your home more energy efficient and beautiful with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hurry, you only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucs fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at Bucs.com/tickets. That's Bucs.com/tickets.
Here's to a Wisconsin winter you will always remember. To playing outdoors in a winter wonderland. Here's to cozying up around the fire and holding someone close. And to staying downtown, where the food scene makes your heart sing. And to celebrating moments frozen in time. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your winter getaway at travelwisconsin.com. Sponsored by Travel Wisconsin.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I think if we can keep the struggle moving in a path that leads to progress, in other words, if we can win concrete victories as we have in the past through nonviolence, if we can say and if we can show people that we are gaining something by following this course, they will continue. And I don't think the extremist elements will be able to take over the movement unless we face great setbacks and unless the discontent and the despair of Negroes increase to the point that they feel that they are making no gain.
But surely we have had a fair amount of violence this year already.
Yes, I would say that this violence is, as I've said before, been unfortunate. I do not approve of violence, whether it is perpetrated by racists or whether it's perpetrated by Negroes. I think it's both impractical and immoral in our struggle. But I think it is important to see and to say that the violence which emerged in the few cities, that I think 5 or 6 that we've had it in, came mainly from a very small group. This did not represent anything like the vast majority of the Negro community.
Wise words from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose birthday, life, and legacy we celebrate and commemorate today. And while you are doing the celebrating and the commemorating and the thinking and the reflecting, always reflect on the progress that we have made. Never lose sight of the progress we still have yet to make. Keep one thing in mind. They killed him. Like many of the other federal holidays that pepper the calendar, the one honoring Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday isn't fixed to a particular date. It falls on the first Monday after his actual birthday, January 15th, which is today. Meanwhile, the 20th Amendment to the Constitution states that the, quote, terms of the president and vice president shall end at noon on the 20th day of January, and the terms of their successors shall then begin. It's a fluke that the two are on the same day, but it certainly feels like a narrative overkill to see Trump sworn in again today rather than seeing Vice President Kamala Harris take the oath of office, as she would have been the first Black and South Asian woman to do so. Photos from inside the church service moments ago show multiple tech executives, including Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, sitting near members of Trump's family, including the incoming president's eldest daughter, Ivanka Trump. There used to be a time where, and it was recent, especially when more people were woken. Awoken? Woke. If we didn't like the political affiliations of a business owner. Oh, we talked about this on Friday. The lady from the Gray Jet Cafe. She was on stage at a Trump rally in Waukesha a couple of years ago, and people were very upset that this black woman who prided herself on being a black business owner and a restaurateur here in Milwaukee. In fact, the Great Jet Cafe, they even brought food to 1017 The Truth on a couple of occasions, which we proudly ate. Well, she got on stage at a Trump rally, at one of the many Trump rallies that we've had here in Wisconsin. And she gave her perspective on when Trump was president, how things were better and her supply prices were cheaper. And she lied about all of it. You guys remember this when the lady from the Great Jet Cafe attended that Trump rally? Black woman, black restaurant owner here in the city of Milwaukee. What she did not disclose is that during Trump's presidency, we were dealing with COVID and supply chain issues. So some of the supplies that she actually needed for her business simply were not available. But she didn't mention that when she went on stage with Donald Trump and was singing his praises. And that made a lot of people very mad. A lot of people here in Milwaukee didn't like the fact that that African-American black lady was singing the praises of Donald Trump and essentially lying about what was taking place during the Donald Trump 45th term. Well, people stopped going to the restaurant, didn't they? They stopped going. They didn't want her food anymore. If we don't like somebody's political affiliation, we'll stop supporting their businesses. And that's been the status quo for a while. If you don't like someone's politics, or if a business owner or a Hollywood celebrity or somebody else whose art and or culture we consume, if they have political differences that we fundamentally don't like, or they put us at odds with our morality, we stop supporting those businesses. Well, with Jeff Bezos and Amazon and Mark Zuckerberg and Meta and Elon Musk with Starlink and Tesla and everything else, are you going to boycott them? It'll be next to impossible. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for Hour 2.
The MPS City Conference basketball season is starting to heat up, and we are bringing you all the live hoops action right here on 1017 The Truth. Tune in Tuesday. We have a classic conference matchup as the Bradley Tech Trojans host longtime rival the Milwaukee Juneau Pioneers. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. on the new 1017 The Truth and The Truth app. City Conference basketball is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools, MPS Proud, and presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Monday, January 20th, because that is the official launch date for my new show, Truth to Power. Every day from 12 to 1, I will have a community conversation which matters to you. From topics like our property tax bill price hike to the incredible MPS students getting millions of dollars in scholarships to why y'all need to leave Travis Hunter the heck alone, I have you covered. So make sure you tune into the debut of Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, on Monday, January 20th from 12 to 1 on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was the song that myself and Common wrote. Two brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But, try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
All of your favorite 1017 The Truth content whenever you want. The Truth app has it all. The Truth is on 1017 and 1510 WGKB Waukesha, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, featuring songs from 1968. We're also going to play you audio clips from Dr. King as we try and provide as much information as we can about a very monumental day in American history, the ending of the Biden, Kamala Harris presidency and vice presidency, and the 47th presidency of Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. I am now watching the former President George W. Bush and his wife Laura Bush enter the U.S. Capitol for the inauguration of Donald Trump. So we're going to do our level best to provide you both audio and video of the inauguration of Donald Trump, just because I want it documented for history. And I'm very curious to see what Donald Trump has to say. There goes Barack Obama. Look at Obama walking by himself, Zach, because Michelle said she wasn't going. Look at Barack Obama's looking regal. Look how he walks. He just walks like a boss. Look how he kicks that leg when he walks. Hey, how you doing? All right, good to see you. All right, where am I sitting? Put me next to George W. so we can talk to George W. I did not think that we would be right back where we started. I'm going to take partisanship out of it because you guys know where my political affiliation is. And I can explain why my political affiliation is what it is 6 ways from Sunday. It's easy for me. There's one political party that is interested in making productive policy. There's only one. The other exists to obstruct. And they have created their entire political universe from obstruction. And that's just something I can't get behind. Take away even the personalities and this penchant to have very powerful, wealthy people affiliated with the Republican Party, not just as donors, but people that will lead the party. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg have no reason for leading policy in America. If you want to donate, okay, cool. We can't do nothing about that because Citizens United said that corporations are people and people can contribute to political campaigns, so we can't do nothing about that. But to have those individuals be involved in some of the policy making is insane to me. They don't know how to look out for you. They don't. And I don't even blame them. As far as technology goes and the wizardry and the mastery of technology that those 3 men have harnessed, they don't even know what regular Americans' lives are like. They see themselves. There's an article that appeared in Vox. I was going to share it with you guys, but I'd have to read the whole thing in order for you all to get the proper context. It's almost like they see each other as superheroes. They're above the law. They can do whatever they want. They control, in one form or another, ladies and gentlemen, you may agree, you may disagree, they control how we think. Facebook sometimes tells you what you should be mad at. It shows you what other people are doing. It allows you to compare yourself. Add that to Instagram, which is literally giving little girls eating disorders because they're seeing these idealized images in which they could never be. It is controlling how we think. I am going to get to TikTok in a minute. Some of y'all went crazy over TikTok. You were as divided with TikTok being banned as you were Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. I might say that it was even more divisive. Those of us that have divorced ourselves from TikTok, and then there's that cohort of people that never had TikTok at all. If you don't know what TikTok is, it is essentially an application where users can create and upload videos and audio on a variety of different topics. In fact, topics about anything. And it's become very popular since the previous version of it, called Musical.ly, went under, and then TikTok was born sometime after that, right around 2017. They tried to tell us and warn us that the TikTok application and its parent company, ByteDance, is a national security risk because it is owned and controlled by the Chinese Communist Party, and they were seeking to capture Americans' data and then create algorithms that could even further divide this country. And this is not even new technology, because in the presidential election of 2016, they used similar algorithms to show these horrible images and horrible narratives about Hillary Clinton, and then they would show all of these ads on social media. The Trump campaign perfected how you can use and manipulate technologies and algorithms to really get Americans angry and divided. They showed all these issues of African Americans rioting and looting, and of course Donald Trump coming in as the law and order president. And so they used the natural divisions that exist amongst Americans to their advantage, and they used algorithms to do so. This is back in 2016. The Trump campaign used, there's a whole documentary that was on Netflix some years ago about how the Trump campaign used really sophisticated technology to make Americans fundamentally hate one another, especially if you were of a different race and of a different political party. So TikTok has become this phenomenon. And I'm almost 50 years old. And I got friends. In fact, one of my friends who's a year younger than me, I had to check on her because she's such a TikTok fanatic. I love her so very much. She's a very dear friend. Oh, she was distraught. She was mad. I had to make sure she was going to be okay because her TikTok got shut down. There's a story out of Fond du Lac where a 19-year-old man cites the temporary darkness of TikTok as a reason why he tried to burn down a member of Congress's congressional office. TikTok is a really abusive partner because they are violating our rights, our liberties, and our privacy, and they are using it for their own gain, which is to alienate us from our family. What does a toxic partner do? They want to isolate you. They want to pull you away from your connections of your family and your friends. A bad partner have you calling off to work. The information that we share, not just on TikTok, but the information that we agree to surrender when you sign up for TikTok and the terms of service, gives the contents of your phone to a company that is an enemy of the state because of their affiliation with the Chinese Communist Party. There's no other way that I can describe that. And that prompted both Democrats and Republicans to create a law that can protect Americans' vital privacy information. That's number one. Number two, not allowing a foreign country that hates our guts to be able to use and manipulate that data. But because we have this really toxic relationship with TikTok, 170 Americans are on TikTok. That's a lot of people. That's effectively half of the country. This toxic relationship that we have with this app, and we don't even care that it has all of our private information. We don't care because it makes us feel good. That's a dose of reality. Even the most toxic of partners still stay in our lives because every now and again, they make us feel good.
I feel like we don't care because America already has all of our data. Like, Facebook's stealing it too. So why not let the Chinese people have it too?
All right, well, I guess that's the same logic as, well, I mean, my last partner used to punch me and, like, throw me around. It doesn't matter if this one does too because, I mean, whatever. It's just what I'm used to. It's fine.
I like it.
Yeah. It makes me feel good. It makes me... It gives me a break from reality, and I can laugh, and I can be entertained. Yeah, so what? They're taking all of my information, they're storing it and stockpiling it somewhere, and the Chinese government probably has some digital file on me. But I like to laugh at the videos. I like to see the dances. We have justified losing our privacy because every now and again that app makes us feel good. That is as toxic as a relationship can get. And so when it was very temporarily banned, which was a stunt because the Biden administration made it clear within the last week that they were going to leave it to the incoming Trump administration to do whatever with TikTok, either uphold that law that was signed by Joe Biden in April to ban it outright or to require it to divest itself from ByteDance, because ByteDance is the enemy, right? So imagine this. So you're in a relationship with somebody. And it's rocky, you know what I mean? You argue, you fight, but I guess you love each other. But the real problem is not with your partner and how toxic they are. It's with their mama, right? Their mama is the one that is controlling your partner, and it's the mama that's jealous, and it's the mama that's getting in the way of your personal and private relationship. ByteDance is the mama to TikTok that is telling TikTok to just be mean to us and disrespectful to us. But every now and again, our partner, TikTok, makes us feel good, makes us smile, gives us something that brightens our day. But at the same time, it is turning over all of our private information to its mama, which is ByteDance. You ever share something with a partner? Because you trust them. And you share it with them because you love them very much and you trust them, because if there's no trust, there's no relationship. You ever share some secret, something nobody else knows, and it's an intimate moment for you because you like to keep your secrets in your private life close to your vest because it's no one's business and you might fear judgment, but you love your partner so very much. Yeah, your partner's a little bit toxic, but everybody likes a little toxicity every now and again, but you love your partner and you tell your partner something you've never told anybody else before. And it feels good that you have this partner that you can share these kinds of details of your life with. And then what does your partner do? Goes and tells their mama. That is what TikTok is doing with ByteDance. We are sharing everything with TikTok, private things that are in our phone. Our text messages, our photographs, our emails, the things that we download that have nothing to do with TikTok, all this private information that we have on our phones. And what TikTok is doing is literally taking all that information and turning it over to its mama. And see, the mama wants us to have a bad relationship because the mama is jealous. TikTok ban behind the fire set at a mall with Congressman's office. Police say, gotta say that word right. No one was injured. The building, which includes a congressional district office of a Wisconsin congressman who has been a critic of TikTok, sustained moderate damage in the fire on Sunday. So this person who set fire to this mall and or Congressman Glenn Grothman's office, all they had to do was wait a couple hours and TikTok came back. Now they're facing arson charges. And I'm sure there's probably some enhancer if you try to burn down a member of Congress's office. A man was arrested in connection with a fire set early Sunday in response to, quote, recent talks of banning the popular video app TikTok, the authorities said. Think about that for a second, y'all. And now we're going to assume there's not going to be a whole bunch of people that want to burn stuff down and have a damn revolution because TikTok was temporarily suspended. But the fact that an application can make somebody commit a federal crime is evidence that they have a tremendous amount of control and influence over people, especially young people, because this individual is, as it says in the article, 19 years old. They were not yet identified, but they were arrested after being found near a Fond du Lac, Wisconsin mall that houses an office of the Congressman, U.S. Representative Glenn Grothman, a Republican, and this is what the city's police department said in a statement. No one was injured, and the mall was unoccupied when police officers and firefighters responded around 1 a.m., the police said. The man was being held at the Fond du Lac County Jail, and a charge of arson was being referred to prosecutors, according to local police. The fire remained under investigation. The exterior of the building sustained moderate damage, and the interior had minor damage, according to the Fond du Lac Fire Department. Fond du Lac, a city of more than 44,000 residents, is about 68 miles north of Milwaukee. The man told the authorities that he had started the fire, quote, in response to recent talks of a TikTok ban. Shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that, sir. You guys ever watch the television or the movies and somebody gets arrested and they read somebody their Miranda rights? You ever see that before? Or, I'm sorry. Have some of you ever had your Miranda rights read to you? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say Here's a kicker. Can and will be used against you in a court of law. So when you are arrested, because the cops, if you can't, you're right, Zach. Zach knows his Miranda rights. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you, blah, 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 blah. You understand these rights. And then usually the person who's being arrested is just cussing. So when this individual says to the police, because the police are going to try and get all the information out of you that they can, so in fact, they can get a conviction. Because the arrest doesn't mean you're guilty. The evidence means you're guilty. And what you say and how you incriminate yourself can mean you're guilty. Okay? You're not supposed to say anything. Even if you didn't do the crime you're being arrested for, you still aren't supposed to say you didn't do it. You don't say anything. In fact, once you're being detained, and they will let you know when you're being detained. Their mood changes very dramatically once you're being detained. You'll know. They'll ask you some questions. And depends, you might have a good cop or a bad cop. Bad cop, like, you're going down. You're going to jail forever. And then the good cop will come in. Oh, don't listen to them. They had too much coffee. Sergeant Smith, calm down. Oh, my God. Sergeant Smith is so crazy. This is what the good cop will say to you when they're trying to get you to incriminate yourself, because some people feel the need to confess to the police, either because they feel guilty or they think, well, if I'm just honest with the police, they'll let me go. So the good cop comes in. Oh, yeah, I know that's Sergeant Smith. He's a handful, I tell you what. Shut up, Sergeant Smith. See, I tell Sergeant Smith to shut up because he's mean. And that good cop will say something like, so how'd your morning go? What'd you do today? And believe it or not, even in that very intense and stressful situation of someone who has just been accused of a crime and now they're handcuffed and now they're being taken down to the station, that good cop who might be driving that squad car, hey, so what's going on? How was your day? And then the person's like, oh, well, this is a departure from the bad cop, Sergeant Smith. Oh, my day was fine. I got up, I had breakfast. I'm really angry that Tik Tok was being shut down. That good cop will go on and say, you were angry? You know what? My daughter was really angry about that, too. I bet that made you real mad. So the person who's being arrested for arson would probably say, yeah, I was so mad. I got a little bit over my skis, and I went and got some accelerants, and I had a lighter because I smoked marijuana, and I went down to the mall, and I wanted to burn down the mall and Glenn Grothman's office because he's a congressman who's also against Tik Tok. Boom, you're convicted. And the cop will just continue to talk to you. Oh, wow, yeah, I can see how that would make you very angry. Okay, well, we're at the station now, so I know they got to do all the processing and all of the things. So that individual actually I'm not kidding you, these are real life scenarios. Like, this stuff actually happens, especially if it's someone who is of diminished mental capacity. They think just in the casual conversation that they are having with the cop, they think that that's okay because they think they're just talking to somebody who is in their vicinity and in their proximity, not knowing that that police officer in that casual, sweet conversation, asking that person how their day started, that's a trick, that's a ploy just to get people feeling comfortable talking about the crime that they actually committed. And so that interaction that I just did for you would be caught on the in-squad car camera that would be played in court to a jury, and that would be enough to convict literally anybody. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM on this very historic and monumental day, the outgoing of the Biden administration, the incoming of the 47th president, Donald Trump, all taking place on Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday commemoration. We're going to be featuring either speeches from Dr. King or music from the year in which he died, which is 1968. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, and I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
101.7 The Truth is now the proud home of Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference basketball. Tune in every week so you don't miss out on the classic rivalry game we all love, the high-flying dunks that leave us in awe, and the memorable moments where Milwaukee basketball legends are born. City Conference basketball on 101.7 The Truth is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools, MPS proud, and presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin showroom today so you can learn the Pella difference and get inspired on making your home more energy efficient and beautiful with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hurry, you only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
I'm excited to be joined by my friend Jill Kreider. She is the president of Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Tell me kind of about the mission of Azura.
Our mission is to transform the culture of care, have a secure place, live a quality of life that maybe they don't have currently.
When I'm at an Azura facility, it feels like home.
Having team members that really care about people is number one.
Thank you for what you do for our community. Thank you for what you do for the people that live in the community.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Immerse yourself in a place where bold ideas are sought after, where all are encouraged to bring their personal flourish. Here, innovation is a way of life. In this city, the beat flows. Together, we're dancing to the rhythm. Forward. Now, it's your turn to grab hold of that energy, where you'll remember not just the meals, the celebrations, or the uncommon coast. What you'll remember is how we made you feel. Come experience Milwaukee, where fresh meets fearless every day.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. Now is the time to start a meaningful career as a caregiver. Make a real difference in people's lives. WisCaregiver.com gives you 2 great options for free. Train for the in-demand caregiver workforce as a CDCP, Certified Direct Care Professional, or become a CNA, Certified Nurse Aide. All training is free. Plus, you can earn a $500 bonus. Learn more. Visit WisCaregiver.com.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
When they put me in jail, when they put Ralph and then Wyatt in jail, let them know that they got 100 more to put in jail. When they put that next 100 in jail, let them know that they got another 1,000 to put in jail. When they put that 1,000 in jail, let them know that they got 10,000 more to put to jail. America may have many, many days, but they will be full of trouble. There will be no rest. There will be no tranquility in this country until the nation comes to terms with our problems. Now, since I don't see the answer in riots, and I say that very sincerely, I don't see it morally because of my moral commitment to nonviolence, but I don't see it practically. I've been to Watts numerous times since the riot took place there several years ago, and Watts is no better. In fact, they've done studies to show that Watts is no better. Conditions haven't changed. So that we've got to find a method that will disrupt our cities if necessary, create the crisis that will force the nation to look at the situation, dramatize it, and yet at the same time not destroy life or property. Now, you know what I see that as? I see that as massive civil disobedience. But I don't see the answer to our problem in riots. So my slogan is not burn, baby, burn. My slogan is build, baby, build. Organize, baby, organize. Learn, baby, learn, so that you can earn, baby, earn. That's my slogan.
On the eve of his return to the White House, President-elect Donald Trump promised to sign a blitz of executive orders on his first day as president, telling supporters that he would, quote, move with historic speed and strength in the hours after taking the oath of office. So I am suspecting that a number of his executive orders and other actions that he may take, some of them are going to border on illegal. Some of them, in my opinion, will be outright illegal. Doesn't matter. The U.S. Supreme Court has said and has ruled in a 6-3 majority that acts committed by the president acting as president via their constitutional authority can never be crimes. Donald Trump was convicted of 34 felonies, and the judge essentially threw out the entire case. There was a state case in Georgia in which Donald Trump applied tremendous amounts of pressure, like only a president can do, to get the either Attorney General of the state of Georgia, the Secretary of State, and the governor to find him exactly 11,779 more votes so that he could claim the state of Georgia in his electoral college count, therefore helping him get closer to the presidency that he actually lost. Come to find out that Donald Trump appealed that decision, and a Georgia appellate court said, yeah, we're going to go ahead and throw this entire case out. And here's the rationale that they gave. I read this several times because I need to understand how the law and how the courts are different now in this authoritarian regime. And I know some of y'all doesn't make any sense to you because when you talk about authoritarianism, you think about some country in Europe in the 1940s, 1950s. Well, welcome in here to America. Just because you were only familiar with it happening somewhere else, we were unaware of how it could happen somewhere else. Therefore, we are unaware of how it could happen here. A person, a party, a thought or an idea cannot become authoritarian on its own. You need help. You need people that are going to overlook the people in this republic, overlook democracy and democratic principles, overlook our institutions in favor of one man's ideas. But you need more than that. You need the courts that will reinterpret the U.S. Constitution to give one person almost unilateral power and authority. Richard Nixon tried. He failed. Got caught with his pants down. There was a different level of political civility in 1974 when Richard Nixon resigned. His Republican colleagues in the Senate told him that he needed to go. We don't even have that kind of political courage. Unless you look at Democrats that said to Joe Biden, Joe, we love you. You did a good job. You got us back from COVID. You created 16 million jobs, something infrastructure. You gave the city and the county of Milwaukee an insane amount of money. We had so much money here. Talk to the mayor. Next time you see the mayor, next time you see the county executive, ask them about how much money Milwaukee was flooded with when Joe Biden got elected. We had so much damn money coming through the American Rescue Plan Act and other COVID programs that we were able to pay our debts, pay our pension obligations. That is why we didn't have to raise our sales taxes in 2020, because we got so much money. MPS had $300 million unspent from COVID money. The Black Chamber of Commerce got $5 million for the hell of it. We had so much damn money. Damn. Yeah, we had money all over the place. In fact, Ruben, the CEO, president of the Black Chamber of Commerce, dude posed on Facebook with one of the big game show checks, big $5,000 check. It was crazy. It was insane. Oh, Joe Biden did a lot. But then the party said, Joe, you have to go. Joe didn't want to. But he did the right thing. Just like in 1974, when Richard Nixon's own party, the senators now, the whole Watergate thing, they said, Richard, you got two options, dog. And he said, well, what are my two options? What are they? You can resign. You can quit on your own terms. We'll give you a little money. We'll fly you to wherever you want to go. He literally got on the helicopter and he flew away. That was one option. I said, Rich, you can quit. Oh, no one's ever quit the presidency before. Well, your ass going to be the first. So that's option number one. You can quit, or we're going to impeach you, and we're going to convict you. And he's, well, can I take a moment to think about it? And the Republicans in the Senate were like, no, you can't. You either resign, and this is coming from his own party. I need you to think about this now. Because you imagine if Republicans in the U.S. Senate say, hey, Donald, you messing up a bunch of stuff, dog. Either you quit or we're going to convict you in the Senate. Trump would never. They would never. Richard Nixon's own party said it's in the best interest of America that you either quit or we are going to convict you and make an example of how authoritarianism, Richard Nixon, that you tried to spark in this country will never work. And Richard Nixon was like, I got it. I'm out. I'll quit. Probably one of the more embarrassing moments for the United States of America, especially on the world stage, because remember, we were in the Cold War. Russia had nuclear weapons pointed at our, I almost going to say asses. I almost said it. I almost said the word. They had nuclear weapons pointed at our asses. Well, I guess I did say it. It was embarrassing for us, but then we vowed to never let that happen again. And guess whose political career that sparked? The abuse of power used by Richard Nixon when he ordered people to break into the Democratic National Convention's headquarters to steal the campaign secrets that they were going to use to run future elections. That's what Watergate was about. Richard Nixon wanted to know essentially the playbook of the Democrats, what they were going to use in their campaign to defeat him. And he got caught. You know who was so offended by that abuse of power by Richard Nixon? They decided they were going to run for office as a kid, as a 29-year-old kid, Joe Biden. That's why this is such a crestfallen sense of irony on this day, because the abuse of power that sparked Joe Biden to run for the U.S. Senate at 29 is the exact same abuse of power that he is leaving this country with Donald Trump being sworn in today, on the day in which we commemorate Dr. Martin Luther King. This is insane. We in for a ride, y'all. This is, whew. It's like this Trump presidency is going to be like an all-night rave.
Talk about an omen.
But all the drugs at this rave are going to kill us. Like we're just going to a fentanyl rave for the next 4 years. I hope some of us make it out alive. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the Deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community, and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free Truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Man, fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. So you're on your own with the WASPs. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
Seriously injured? Make one call. That's all.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, get your tickets now for our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th, celebrating individuals making a real difference in Milwaukee. Visit 1017thetruth.com to purchase your tickets today. They're only $25, and that includes heavy appetizers, a cocktail, and a great time hanging out with our Truth family as we celebrate heroes in our community. Don't wait. Don't miss out on the best community awards event of the year. Visit 1017thetruth.com to buy your tickets to our first annual Truth Community Awards at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel, Friday, February 20th, starting at 5 p.m. And for those of you that don't know, and if you don't know, it's because you've been living under a rock, on Monday, January 27th, literally 1 week from today, I, yours truly, will be bartending at the Blue Lounge high atop the Pfister Hotel on the 23rd floor at 424 East Wisconsin Avenue. I'm going to be bartending to raise money for Axe Housing and to support them in their mission for providing more affordable homes for people in our community. That event kicks off at 5:30 next week, Monday, January 27th at Blue. If you've never been to Blue before, my word, it is my opinion, I'm a little biased, but my opinion, the most beautifully appointed cocktail lounge in the city of Milwaukee that offers these 3-sided floor-to-ceiling window views of downtown Milwaukee's growing landscape and even views of 794 and Lake Michigan. So come on out, you guys. Come and support your boy as I raise money for Axe Housing. It's also a competition. Myself and the Vice President of Operations at Axe Housing, D. Kemp, she's trying to outraise me. Shout out to Not Really a City Girl and Justin Brown and a few other folks that have donated to my virtual tip jar. Oh, if you can't make the bartending event, my bartending debut at Blue next week, Monday at the Pfister Hotel, from 5:30 until 7:30, you can tip me virtually. I'm almost there. $500 is how much I'm supposed to raise in my virtual tip jar. So if you can't come, I'd love it if you guys showed up. But if you can't make it, you can tip me in my virtual tip jar. I'm like $123 away from making my $500 goal. So if you want to tip me virtually, oh, and by the way, the tips are tax deductible. So there you go. I'm $123 away. That's all I need to meet my goal of $500. Go to Axe Housing, ACTS Housing /Blue, BLU. That is actshousing.org/blue. And you can scroll down. It'll say Tip D or Tip Sherwin. Don't click on Tip D, because for a while, D didn't have no money. Then all of a sudden, her virtual tip jar, she had $21. And I said, ha ha, D, you suck. And now she's got like a couple $100 in her tip jar. She's nipping at your boy's heels. I can't let her beat me. Like, what do y'all want me to do for this last $123 so I can meet my $500 virtual tip jar goal to support Axe Housing? What do you need me to do? I'll do something strange for the change. Oh, you think I won't? Y'all must not know me. Some of y'all seen me last night at the Bucks game, and here I am thinking I'm being incognito. They caught me on the Jumbotron. So there's a Rick Astley song called Never Gonna Give You Up. Everybody knows that song. Very popular song. I remember when that song came out. So I'm just doing my thug thizzle. I'm just chilling in my seat, trying to be incognito, sipping on my cocktail, watching some fine Bucks basketball. And the song comes on. Do, 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 you know, Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. And I started singing it. We're no strangers to love. You know the rules. And so do I. I'm just kicking. I'm just doing my thing. I'm in the moment, having fun at the Milwaukee Bucks game. All of a sudden, my guy tapped me on my shoulder. He's like, hey, dog. I said, what? I'm singing to Rick Astley. What do you want, man? He said, hey, dog, look up at the Jumbotron. I was on the Jumbotron singing the Rick Astley song. They caught me slipping, Zach. And then somebody in the YouTube chat said that they seen me. And here I am thinking.
What quarter was that?
Oh, must have been the third quarter.
I was packing up.
Oh, you were there too?
Yeah, I was DJing in the Paddle Club.
Oh, well, had I invited you to the game, Zach, you wouldn't have been able to go because you was too busy DJing.
I mean, they play Wednesday.
So I'm just sitting in my seat, just kicking it. And whenever you hear this little bop, this little groove, you know what I mean? It's like, oh. I think this song was made more popular recently, like on social media. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing my thing. And so do I. Rick Ross used this? Rick Roll. What is that, a dance? What's Rick Roll mean? I don't know what that means. His name is Rick Astley. You didn't know his name was Rick Astley?
I know that.
So what's Rick Roll?
How do you not know what that is?
I don't know, because I'm not smart when it comes to certain stuff. Well, anyways, I was singing the song. Is Rick Roll something different?
Rick rolled is when you thought that you were clicking on a video, but this song played.
Oh, like as a prank, like a stunt, you get Rick rolled. Oh, like if I think I'm clicking on thick Latinos twerking in G-strings, if I click on that and all of a sudden the Rick Astley song will come up. Oh, that's how I get Rick rolled. Oh, okay. Thanks, Zach. I learn something every day. Speaking of someone I learn things from every day. Let's talk to, hello, Al. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm doing good, but can we keep it 100? I say, you know what? We got too many Simba, bootlicking coon, tap dancing monkeys that's out here. And yes, I said monkeys, okay? And see, when you have these tap dancing coon monkeys, it only gives the green light to these white people. No matter how much I disrespect you and put you down, you going to show every crooked tooth in your mouth that's the same color as a box terrier urine because I'm white. You know, now I can't get mad at Nelly because ain't nobody heard nothing from him anyway. And then he was caught with meth. I didn't even think black people were still doing meth. So if black people doing meth, give it back to the white folks. And then you got these black Republicans. We got to keep it.
Al, I hate to cut it short, but we have to break in because Donald Trump is about to give his inauguration address. So thank you, Al. Call us back.
Okay, all right.
Gotta go. That's easy for me to do. Did you see the video of Tish's wife? Can you see that on YouTube? Melania didn't even kiss him. She's probably mad she's going to be first lady again because I don't think she likes it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Is he speaking? What's happening here? Or was that just him entering? It was just him entering, wasn't it? What's going on? Everybody look confused. I think we got some time. Zach, let's squeeze in a break. And I think by the time we come back, because he is not slated to be officially inaugurated until noon Eastern time, which is 11 a.m. our time. So
please welcome the chairwoman of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Honorable Amy Klobuchar.
Okay, so we got time. Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll pick this up on the other side. The inauguration of the 47th.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 60th presidential inauguration. Today, President-elect Trump and Vice President-elect Vance will take their oaths of office, and we will witness the peaceful transfer of power at the heart of our democracy.
Wait, we doing the radio show in the morning?
That is right. Jammin' with Juice is now moving on up to 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
So you can listen to us in your mama's house, in your mama's car, your daddy's house. You can listen to us on the way to school. Even watch us on YouTube.
So tap in for our debut morning of Jammin' with Juice on January 20th, 2025.
From 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Wipe the crust out your eyes.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snuggly and warm at home. That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin showroom today so you can learn the Pella difference and get inspired on making your home more energy efficient and beautiful with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hurry, you only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Greater Milwaukee Urban League is celebrating 105 years of legacy and impact. The 105th year milestone community engagement campaign is a mission-driven effort to support employment, education, advocacy, and entrepreneurship initiatives. Together, they can continue their impact and legacy. Join them in raising $1.5 million. Text 105 to 41444 to make a secure online donation today. Visit TMUL.org for more information.
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. 1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
With that responsibility of leadership comes an obligation to stand our ground when we must and find common ground when we can. With everything swirling around us, the hot mess of division, it is on all of us, to quote an incredible songwriter who just happened to be born in my state, to ensure that our nation's democracy is our shelter from the storm.
Probably is a part of
There's
the
a reason this ceremony takes place at the Capitol. In other countries, it might be in a presidential palace or a gilded executive office building. Here, it is traditionally held at the Capitol, the People's House. It is a fitting reminder of the system of checks and balances that is the very foundation of our government. 3 equal branches of government. That is how, for nearly 250 years, our great American experiment, grounded in the rule of law, has endured. So, as we inaugurate a new president and vice president, let us remember that the power of those in this room comes from the people. The construction workers who build our country, the teachers and healthcare workers who nurture us, the troops defending our freedoms, and yes, the firefighters in Los Angeles putting themselves on the line for us. Our democracy's strength and grit must match theirs. May God bless our nation. Thank you.
We're going to need it. We're going to need God's blessing. What's next? Apparently nothing is next. This does not seem very well organized.
Good afternoon. Endurance through the years is the ultimate test. To persevere through time is the truest measure of an idea, an institution, and a nation. Our founders wrote the Constitution so that America could withstand all the twists and turns of time.
None of this even matters
anymore. They wrote it to guide us.
Not true.
And to preserve forever
they wrote it as
our
a
right
document.
Of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But as much as the truths and principles enshrined in our Constitution remain the same, our democracy promises the American people the power to change, to chart their own destiny. That's the beauty. That is the importance of democracy. It allows the endurance, the permanence of a nation through change. It allows nations like our United States both to avoid the obstacles and to seize the opportunities God has placed before us, all while staying true to our founding principles. Today is our country's 60th inauguration ceremony. Like all the others before it, it is a celebration of our right to set our uniquely American course. The past several years have been trying at times for many, many Americans, and also for the nations of the free world that we humbly strive to lead. In November, Americans chose again to steer this nation towards greatness, the secure, safe, and prosperous future that our founders envisioned for all of us. And today, we celebrate not only their decision to do so, but also the simple right and wisdom of a free people to make their own choice so that their nation might endure. And now, allow me to welcome Archbishop Timothy Dolan and Reverend Franklin Graham, who will deliver our invocation. Please rise.
JD said that Joe looked like he finna take a nap. It's a lot of stuff going through Joe Biden's head right now. I can't believe after all of this, Trump is up there again.
Be still and know that I am God, supreme among the nations, supreme on the earth. Let us pray. Remembering General George Washington on his knees at Valley Forge, recalling Abraham Lincoln at his second inaugural, with malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right. Remembering General George Patton's instructions to his soldiers as they began the Battle of the Bulge 8 decades ago: pray. Pray when fighting, pray alone, pray with others, pray by night, pray by day. Observing the birthday of the Reverend Martin Luther King, who warned, without God, our efforts turn to ashes.
I don't even like them mentioning Martin. I wonder if Trump is going to mention it.
Blessed citizens of this one nation under God, humbled by our claim that in God we trust, gather indeed this Inauguration Day to pray for our President Donald J. Trump, his family, his advisors, his cabinet, his aspirations, his vice president, for the Lord's blessings upon Joseph Biden, for our men and women in uniform, for each other whose hopes are stoked this new year, this Inauguration Day. We cannot err in relying upon that prayer from the Bible, upon which our president will soon place his hand in oath, as we make our own the supplications of King Solomon for wisdom as he began his governance. God of our fathers, in your wisdom you set man to govern your creatures, to govern in holiness and justice, to render justice with integrity. Give up.
All right, looks like we got booted from our broadcast of Timothy Dolan. Well, what we want to hear is Donald Trump's inaugural address, and if timing is to be spot on, he will give it at exactly 11 a.m. our time, which is noon Eastern time, which is the date and time set for the peaceful transition of power, the outgoing presidency of Joe Biden and vice presidency of Kamala Harris, and the incoming 47th president of the United States, who was consequently also the 45th president of the United States, Mr. Donald John Trump. He is joined by his wife, Melania. He is joined by his vice president-elect. In about 5 minutes, J.D. Vance will no longer be vice president-elect. He will be the vice president of the United States and the one who is set to carry on the torch of MAGA. I want to make sure that we are capturing this moment, this intersection of all of these different historical elements on one day, as we are commemorating the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, the ending of the Biden presidency, and the beginning of Donald Trump's 47th inaugural. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Monday, January 20th, because that is the official launch date for my new show, Truth to Power. Every day from 12 to 1, I will have a community conversation which matters to you. From topics like our property tax bill price hike to the incredible MPS students getting millions of dollars in scholarships to why y'all need to leave Travis Hunter the heck alone, I have you covered. So make sure you tune into the debut of Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, on Monday, January 20th from 12 to 1 on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was a song that myself and Common wrote. Two brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it,
It's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
When a parent sees their child smile, they see hope. Aleem hoped that his son Rajib would have an easier life than he had. You see, Rajib, just like his father, was born with a cleft. But as a fisherman in a small village in Indonesia, the cost of surgery was out of reach. Their lives were transformed thanks to Smile Train, which sponsors free, life-changing cleft surgeries and other essential treatments. Rajib's surgery marked Smile Train's 2 millionth, and incredibly, Aleem's was the 2 million and first. Now, their smiles are a symbol of hope for children with clefts all over the world. 540 babies are born with a cleft each day, but through Smile Train, millions of lives have been changed. To learn more and support the global cleft community, visit smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
Listen to the home of the 5K Gruber Cash Giveaway. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That is J.D. Vance taking the oath of office.
True faith.
That I will bear true faith.
And allegiance to the same.
And allegiance to the same.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation.
Without any mental reservation.
Or purpose of evasion.
Or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge.
The duties of the office.
The duties of the office.
On which I am about to enter.
On which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
Look at Kamala's face.
Congratulations, Mr. Vice President.
J.D. Vance is now the Vice President of the United States. Justice Brett Kavanaugh issued the oath. In this moment in American history, Joe Biden is still president, and J.D. Vance is the vice president. He just whispered something in J.D. Vance's ear. We do apologize that we're unable to bring you the actual video via our YouTube stream, but we are going to bring you the audio.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me.
Donald Trump about to take the oath.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Why does Melania look like a gangster? Throw it up there, Zach. And if they block our stream, they block our stream. I need people to see this. I need people to see. Yeah, there we go. There's Tiffany Trump. What the hell is that? We at war? Oh, those are the gun salutes. I was like, they shooting that dude already. This man been president for 38 seconds. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next era in American history and/or politics. Donald Trump has been sworn in as the 47th president of the United States. I am now understanding that his inaugural address may not take place right now. It may take place at a different time. In the event that his address takes place while I am on the air, I will play it. I do not know what Kyle Wallace and his debut program today of Truth to Power is going to do as far as the inauguration and the inaugural address, but I suppose that remains to be seen. Oh, we're overshadowing the fact that we're launching our new program lineup today. Jamming with Juice.
Yeah, they did the morning.
That's right. They had their first morning show. They sounded good. I know right away when I hear a show how it starts, what they say, how they bring the energy, if that morning show is going to be successful or not. I think they've got the formula. Their chemistry is equally as tangible and powerful at 7 a.m. as it was at noon. And they seem to do the 2 hours because, you know, Ben and Carrie only had a 1 hour show, for those of you that listen to Jammin' with Juice, that used to be on after my program from noon until 1 p.m. In fact, I used to be their opening act. Now they're my opening act. But they were good, and I'm looking forward to listening to them as I used to listen to all of our morning shows here on 101.7 The Truth, but particularly looking forward to listening to Ben and Carrie in the morning as I drive into work, as they're going to start our program day here at 101.7 The Truth. Also, the other addition to our program lineup, back by popular demand, Kyle Wallace is back with a program on 101.7 The Truth called Truth to Power, which will air Monday through Friday from noon until 1 p.m. And Kyle is going to give his insights and perspectives on a whole host of different topics and categories. Kyle can talk about sports. He'll talk about what's happening here in the city of Milwaukee locally. He'll talk about national politics, and I'm sure he will keep you informed as things are transpiring in the Trump administration as well. So we have a drop of juice, Jamming with Juice from 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. They are our new morning show. And Truth to Power featuring Kyle Wallace Monday through Friday from noon until 1 p.m. Fear not, ladies and gentlemen, Denise Thomas is still a part of The Truth. She and Dr. Ken will be premiering their new show, whose name escapes me. It'll be Mondays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., so be on the lookout for that.
Truth Unfiltered.
Truth Unfiltered. Oh, I can't even imagine with those two. Those two have a lot of unfiltered truths. So that will be on Mondays from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. You also can catch Dr. Ken and Denise Thomas on our sister station, WTMJ 620. They have a Sunday evening show as well. So Denise will still be around. Had her on with me last week, and you guys absolutely loved our dynamic. That's because Denise is in love with me. She creates the sexual tension. I'm not even lying to y'all. If I asked Denise to marry me, I could call Denise right now on her phone. She'd answer, and I would ask her to marry me. She'd say yes. Guaranteed.
Do it.
No, because she'd take it seriously. She'd get back on a flight to Milwaukee. She'd post all on her social media. Everyone, Sherwin did it. He finally popped the question. She and I have actually had this conversation. She would still live in Texas. I would still live in Milwaukee. She would have her life. I would have my life. She has her career. I have my career. And every now and again, we'd get together and hang out, but we would combine assets, which makes me a little nervous because these are my assets. I'd make Denise sign a prenup. I totally would. And actually, that might be stupid on my part because Denise might have a fortune. She looks like she might be rich. She travels all over the place. Do y'all know what she does? It is overwhelming what Denise does for a living. So she is, how do I even describe it? She's more than a motivational speaker. Well, she's the effective communication coach. I think it was earlier, well, I shouldn't say earlier this year because this year is only 20 days old. Last year, she was broadcasting, and she used to broadcast from hotel rooms because she would travel so very much because of her job. And we have the ability as radio hosts to broadcast from literally anywhere where there's at least a cell phone signal. So she was in Washington, D.C. doing the show. And I don't know if she gave any details of what she was doing in Washington, D.C. She was out there for work. She was like doing a diversity training for the damn Pentagon. For like the Department of Defense, like hired her to talk about like diversity initiatives. I don't think y'all understand if the Pentagon contracts with you, it is an insane amount of money. It is essentially the only American government department whose budget can print its own money. I can't even imagine She and I had a conversation. I can't remember if she and I, Denise Thomas and I, had this conversation on air or if it was a personal conversation that she and I had, and I'm thinking that we had it on air. It was something like, if it's less than $90,000, like, she's not getting out of bed. You know what I mean? Like, she has such a high threshold for the amount of money that she needs that if it's less than, and maybe it wasn't $90,000, it was an insane amount of money. It was an annual salary. And if she's not getting X amount of dollars for her time and for her effort and energies to be hired to consult or do whatever, she's not going to do it. That's boss moves kind of stuff. Shout out to Denise Thomas, my, I don't know, play wife. You know, Denise and I, in these conversations we've had, not to belabor the point, I question what the intimacy would be like with a wife that lives in Texas and a husband that lives in Milwaukee. And I said, Denise, your boy got needs. Your boy got urges. And you know what she said to me? Sherwin, I have them too. So if you would like to have a little girlfriend in Milwaukee that takes care of you while I'm away, that's perfectly acceptable. And that actually got a brother thinking.
Shaboing, boing, boing.
Oh, God, yes, it did. Shaboing, boing, boing me.
What do you mean by that?
I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. There are so few women and men that are mature enough or confident enough to allow their partner to experience physical intimacy with another person and not have that deeply impact them. You got to really think about how rare something like that is. What I have realized in my old age, in my maturity, is that when we are in a relationship with somebody, we own them. Like, they become our property. We capitalize, essentially, commodify our relationships. No, you're mine. I have, jurisdiction over where you go and what you do. And maybe it's not that extreme, but if somebody says, hey, we're in a relationship, we're married, I love you very much. However, I want to be able to spend time with these other people and not have my relationship with somebody else, whatever it is. It could be familial, platonic, or intimate. Not have these other relationships impact what we have. Human beings can never own one another. They cannot. And the sooner you realize that, the better off you will be. Because I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, whether you want to admit it or not, every time you were in a situation with another human being and you thought you owned them and you thought that they were yours, it could be men, it could be women, hell, it could be both. When you thought that they and their time were your property, you were sorely mistaken. Sometimes you found out about it, sometimes you did not. Zach, it looks like Trump is giving his inaugural address. Can we get some audio on this? Is that possible?
America will soon be greater, stronger, and far more exceptional than ever before. I return to the presidency confident and optimistic that we are at the start of a thrilling new era of national success. A tide of change is sweeping the country, sunlight is pouring over the entire world, and America has the chance to seize this opportunity like never before. But first, we must be honest about the challenges we face. While they are plentiful, they will be annihilated by this great momentum that the world is now witnessing in the United States of America. As we gather today, our government confronts a crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment has extracted power and wealth from our citizens while the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair.
That's exactly what he's doing.
We now have a government that cannot manage even a simple crisis at home, while at the same time stumbling into a continuing catalog of catastrophic events abroad.
Oh, Lord.
It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens, but provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegally entered our country from all over the world. We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders, but refuses to defend American borders or, more importantly, its own people. Our country can no longer deliver basic services in times of emergency, as recently shown by the wonderful people of North Carolina, who've been treated so badly. And other states who are still suffering from a hurricane that took place many months ago. Or more recently, Los Angeles, where we're watching fires still tragically burn. From weeks ago, without even a token of defense, they're raging through the houses and communities, even affecting some of the wealthiest and most powerful individuals in our country, some of whom are sitting here right now. They don't have a home any longer. That's interesting. But we can't let this happen. Everyone is unable to
turn him down
do anything about it. That's going to change.
I've just realized that when I listen to Donald Trump, the last time I've listened to him at length was last year during the Republican National Convention here in Milwaukee in the Fiserv Forum. I only have a certain amount of time, a certain amount of bandwidth that I can dedicate toward listening to him. Otherwise, my frustrations begin to explode because then I begin to fact check him in real time. I probably will do a recap of his inaugural address because I'm certain there are details that his speechwriter has added to this address that may be of major consequence for the American people. We do know that beginning tomorrow, unless there are some major changes of plan of his executive order actions, border enforcement and deportations are going to begin tomorrow, and the city they selected was Chicago, and I find that very ironic and maybe also a harbinger of the future because Donald Trump has said in no uncertain terms that the crime that exists in cities like Chicago should require military installations. I do not put it past him that he would have the National Guard and other members of the armed uniformed services bedding down in American cities and usurping local law enforcement, especially in states that have Democratic governors. I wish I knew how to best prepare us for what is to come, but we just do not know. He's a much more dangerous man now. He is armed with legislative tools and judicial protections that he did not have during his first term. And when I thought that our Constitution and our republic would be the strongest, but this also, it opened my eyes to something. America, what we think of it, and I'm sure we have different opinions on what this nation is, but I like to think that we have similar understandings of what this nation could be if we could embrace all of our assets and look at our diversity and our differences as strengths, because it allows people from different places and spaces and backgrounds to bring into the conversation all of their very unique ways of how they have solved problems. Because one thing I can say about this world, and I hope that you can agree, the world is very complicated, and we need all the brain power that we have and all the creativity we can muster to begin to figure out these new problems a quarter century into the 21st century. But because diversity now is seen as a bad thing and almost an enemy of the people, I think that we're going to continue to lose if we are unable to embrace all of the different strategies that different ethnicities and races and genders have on solving their own unique problems and bringing those new strategies into the fold so that America can be much stronger because of it. He can do whatever he wants. And the court is protecting him. And he has a Republican Party led by Speaker Mike Johnson, who will be one of the most dangerous individuals to the American Republic. The only thing that may be curtailing Speaker Mike Johnson's power is the fact that he can lose barely 2 or 3 Republicans in his very fraught conference in the U.S. House of Representatives. That might be our only saving grace. So we don't know what Donald Trump is going to do with his new unchecked power, latitude, and authority. We have to take him at face value at some of his campaign promises, with deporting those who were here illegally being one of the first orders of business, and also ending birthright citizenship. Ladies and gentlemen, some people that you know, that you work with, they might be your neighbors, they might be your friends, they may be members of your family. that are only citizens of this nation because of birthright citizenship. If you were born here, it does not matter where your parents are from. You are an American citizen, and it is unquestioned. Donald Trump wants to eliminate birthright citizenship. Anyone that you know, and people that you don't know, whose parents may have been from somewhere else, but if they had their children here in the United States, those individuals could potentially lose their American citizenship. I'm going to take a break, come back, and continue discussing the inauguration of the 47th President of the United States. Also want to share with you some details on the 200 potential executive orders that Donald Trump is set to sign today. We are also commemorating the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King on this Inauguration Day, January 20th, 2025. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be back shortly.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Join the YMCA of Metropolitan Milwaukee on January 20th for the 28th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel starting at 8 a.m. Come together as a community to reflect on Dr. King's powerful legacy, celebrate the creativity of our youth, and be inspired by moving performances and speakers. This will be a day of inspiration, connection, and service, one you won't want to miss. For more information, visit ymcamke.org/MLK. Can't wait to see you there.
It's 101.7 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snuggly and warm at home. That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin showroom today so you can learn the Pella difference and get inspired on making your home more energy efficient and beautiful with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hurry, you only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
The MPS City Conference basketball season is starting to heat up, and we are bringing you all the live hoops action right here on 101.7 The Truth. Tune in Tuesday. We have a classic conference matchup as the Bradley Tech Trojans host longtime rival the Milwaukee Juneau Pioneers. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. on the new 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app. City Conference basketball is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools, MPS Proud, and presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Winter is here. Don't let your car care take a back seat. Protect your car against rust, salt, and grime this season at Tsunami Express Car Wash. Tsunami Express makes cleanup a breeze with state-of-the-art wash technology, powerful free vacuums, and convenient unlimited wash memberships. Try their new best-in-class T2 with graphene wash for the ultimate long-lasting shine and protection. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Try your first wash free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law Offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law Offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law Offices make our community a better place.
They are the best.
For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law Offices.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
I do not want to give the impression that I feel a Negro is not capable of being president. There are many Negroes who are capable this day and were capable yesterday and day before yesterday and many days in the past. But because of prejudices and narrow-mindedness, Negroes have been held out of the political arena, and so the day will come, not too distant future, when the Negro vote itself will be powerful enough to be in a coalition with liberals in the white community and thereby elect a Negro president of the United States.
It's amazing how Dr. King predicted that with shocking accuracy as Barack Obama was sworn in as president within 40 years of Martin Luther King's assassination. But here's the part that we have to keep in mind as African American voters. Coalitions. We cannot do it on our own. So we got to be strategic and pick and choose who we as African Americans see our allies as being. Now, he mentioned liberals. Nah, not necessarily, because the liberalism in America has evolved to a place to where liberals and progressives still double down on race. They're white first, then they are liberal, then they are progressive, because they're always going to protect the interests of themselves and their communities first, because liberals and progressives have a disproportionate amount of influence on our Milwaukee public school system. And some of the failure of that MPS system is to make sure that certain children do not get a commensurate education as other white liberal children. Because at the end of the day, I don't care who you voted for, how liberal you are, how much of a Democrat you are, how many Kamala Harris cat lady T-shirts you wore. White people look out for the preservation of whiteness at all costs. Let's talk to Bob. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Hello, Sherwin. It just brings shudders when I hear his voice, because I really lived through Martin Luther King and seen him. And I remember when Bush, second term, I said Biden should be president, because they didn't know, and I called a talk show. They had telephone booths then, 17th and Madison in Maywood. I remember running there because I was listening to it on the radio. And then I was eye-opening when he became vice president. And then he became president. Made my eyes open a little bit more. And it seems like it's a backlash when Obama got to be president, when Trump became president. Because I keep analyzing, how in the world could a hooligan felony get elected as president again? I just analyze it. I just can't help it. And then to me, the Americans said, we can relax now because we put Biden back in office after Trump. So they relaxed on the chair and sat out on the couch. And then the man got elected again. A hooligan. A felony hooligan. I will not get used to it, but I'm not going to get excited. Homie, he don't stop no show. So that's all. And just one more thing, Sharon. Just one more thing. If you got a year to get married, because not get married, just have a girlfriend or something. And then after that year, if you don't, you got to hook up with DT. Period. And you better not mess around. Just because she said that, she's probably saying, well, she's being extra nice. And she wanted you to say, oh, I wouldn't mess around on you, because DT, she won't mess around.
You're out your mind, Bob. I've seen Denise with other men, and I'm actually happy for her. I wouldn't expect her to be faithful to me, because that's not fair. This is all hypothetical. Denise and I are not going to date. We are not going to get married. But even if we did, I wouldn't tell her she couldn't enjoy the time and the company of other people that she deems attractive. I can't tell her. Bob, let me tell you something. Bob, I'm going to just give you some advice that you should be giving me since you're old enough to be my father. You cannot tell a woman what to do. You cannot. She will do what she's going to do no matter what. If you tell a woman what to do, all she'll do is lie.
Your mind will say, I'm not messing around, because Denise ain't going to mess around. I could tell the way she talks. And she wanted you to say...
You don't know her.
And she wanted you to say, oh, I wouldn't mess around, Denise. That's what she probably wanted you to say, but you didn't say that. Because that's how nice she is. So you got a year to mess around, and if she ain't hooked up with nobody, then you got to hook up and be her good, and then use your strong mind not to mess with no women. And I'll talk to you later. That's an order. Talk to you later.
All right. Okay. There's a woman in the YouTube chat right now that said that she will sleep with me while Denise is in Texas. Lovey said that, and I believe her too. Lovey said that she'd give me her oodles and toodles and bam bams, yam yams, and tam tams. Well, Zach, you know that one, I don't want to out who this person is. I told you, she came up, you were DJing somewhere. You were DJing at the Sophie, and she's a local TV reporter.
Yo, so gorgeous.
Oh, she's probably...
My heart rate is going up just thinking about her.
Top 5 most beautiful women in Milwaukee. You were DJing at the Sophie. She came up to you, maybe requesting a song or whatever the case may be.
Multiple songs.
I hope you played them, sir.
Oh, yes, of course.
I told you that you need to pursue that. You got to send her flowers because you know where she works at. She works at the news station. What you do is you send her flowers, you see, and you say something like, you can request any song you want. Right now, I am requesting your time and your heart, and hopefully you'll be able to join me on a magical evening where we can have a couple cocktails, some dinner, and maybe explore each other's personalities. That's what you say to get her. Now, look at here now. We're Pisces men. We attack. We go get it, Zach. We get it. What we do, though, as Pisces men, we don't chase. Okay? Let me give you an analogy here. Have you ever seen a hunter? Maybe they're hunting rough grouse. Maybe they're hunting pheasant. Or perhaps duck. Maybe a deer hunter. Some of you are familiar with deer hunting. When a deer hunter is hunting his deer, do you ever see a deer hunter chase the deer? Never. If the deer runs away, we simply wait until another one gets in our sights. You never chase the deer. I'm going to take a break. Come back. We're going to talk to Miss Shack on the other side. I'm sure she has many things to say on this interesting and unusual intersection of history in which the Biden presidency is now over. The 47th president of the United States who was just sworn in, Donald Trump. This is the new era in American politics, almost like a Trump 2.0. And on the same day in which we commemorate the birthday, the life, and the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, I am featuring excerpts of speeches from Dr. King and also music from the year 1968, the year in which Dr. King was felled by an assassin's conspiracy bullet. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he has inspired generations of change leaders, and many more are to come. Let's celebrate his legacy by enjoying incredible speeches by Milwaukee Public Schools students.
Let me take you all back to March 3rd, 1991, and introduce you to a man named Rodney King. He was beaten by the Los Angeles Police Department during his arrest for driving while intoxicated. Now let me take you back to May 25th, 2020, nearly 30 years later, and introduce you to a man named George Floyd, who died because of police brutality. The nation stood by in shock. How can we work towards a world of peace when things that happened 30 years ago are still happening today? All of us here today must stand up and reject the racism and violence that we see daily, so that we can work towards a world of peace and make the world a better place for future generations. Everyone that witnesses police brutality needs to speak up and say something. If you hear someone using racist rhetoric, you must say something. If you see someone treating others unfairly, you must say something. If you see any type of discrimination, you must say something. This is the only way we can truly work towards a world of peace. It starts with each and every one of us here today and speaking up and not silencing our voices. Can everyone here today repeat after me? I will speak up. I will not be silent. I I will make a difference. I am peace. Thank you.
Marcus Performing Arts Center and We Energies are proud to sponsor the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Speech Contest and pleased to share these extraordinary student speeches with you.
Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. This will be a Truth family party where we will celebrate the unsung heroes of our community and we roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and includes free food, free drinks, and free Truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and then I'll watch them roll away again. Yeah, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
Our phone number is 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. Let's talk to... Got a terrible voice, Linda.
Hey, son. Oh, shut up.
Terrible voice.
Good morning, Sherwin. That was my dad's favorite song. I grew up listening to that song 11, 10, 8 years old, you know. But good morning, Sherwin. Good morning, Professor. Good morning, Good Karma Brand. And good morning to all the beautiful black and white people of Milwaukee and Wisconsin and America.
Oh, all right.
Hey, Sherwin, first thing I wanted to ask is, does anyone know how Miss Rose doing? I haven't heard from her, and I just wonder every now and then what's going on.
I haven't heard from her either, but every now and again she does take long breaks from calling in. I'm sure she's fine.
Okay, I hope so.
We would know.
I know last time she was talking about, you know, she had lost her breath trying to walk, you know, downtown to that event we had. Remember, she caught the bus and she had lost her breath and all that. So I was concerned ever since then that she probably shouldn't be on the bus stop and stuff like that. But yes, feeling all kind of emotions all over the place today. So I try to, you know, focus on something positive, such as, you know, Truth 101.7, and just, you know, channel my focus on positivity. So, but you know, it is what it is. And now going forward as a black woman, I'm a forward thinker. And as an educator, I'm a forward thinker, preparing for, you know, our future. Preparation is better than, you know, aggravation. So, and I just wanted to say that I was listening to Fox last night. They were talking about the upcoming budget that's coming up in February and April, and also this challenging Supreme Court race with that slimy snake Schimmel. I think that, you know, they're preparing the courts, you know, for this incoming administration. And I just, and for, you know, where the powers that be want to steer America in their white ideologies. So, and also the budget with Evers, he is interested in, sustaining the people and making way for the people as far as, child care, as far as education. And I just feel like we really need to support Evers in his way. And I love how he keeps his foot on the neck of the Republicans here. They can't budge without him. He's so smart. I just really applaud Evers and how he does what he do without drama, without, all of that eccentric stuff that rich white men do, but he keep it real. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that and the position that the MPS is in with the police and all of that, and the budget and the Republicans withholding the funds. So I just think that we need to get prepared for what is coming this summer, this spring, this fall, this year. And so that we don't be so, disarrayed and discombobulated when it does hit. We should be prepared. That's what I believe in, preparation.
I'm not sure how we're going to prepare, Linda, because we don't know what's coming our way, do we? Well, we can do the regular things,
we know that it's going to be costly. Whatever is coming our way for black people and the working class, it's going to be costly. The cost of living is going up. Trump has already said that the eggs are high, and once they're high, he can't bring them down. So we already got some indication that the cost of living is going to be high. So we know that we should build our bag and get economically prepared for the society that's coming. AI is coming. Get technology savvy and educated so that you can be, you know what I'm saying? You can have your options when it comes to employment. I just believe education is preparation.
Okay.
And if you prepare,
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. And I just believe we prepare as far as the technology goes, as far as the jobs that, this new technology era is going to bring up, get prepared for it. Get prepared for your entrepreneurship if that's what you want, but I'm saying build up your bag, build up your mind and your education, and then when it comes to your personal life, decide what you want. Don't be trying to make a whole housewife. That ain't not going to happen. Decide what you want and go after that, man. I just don't understand why we make life so complicated when we first have to start with ourselves and what we want and how you care for yourself, and then presenting yourself in a way where the person that you're interested in will be attracted to you. Someone that you're not going to attract someone if you're not taking care of yourself. If you're not loving yourself, guess what? You're not attracting the person, the ideal person that is going to be happy with you. No. You're going to attract what you present.
You sound like you just finding this information out now, Linda. I don't know how we went from getting educated and preparing yourself and getting your bag to you just wove in relationships and who's going to be attracted to who. I don't even know how you did that, but that was very masterful of how you did that.
I just think that hindsight is insight as to yourself.
I agree with that. Memory is a superpower. Okay. Remembering things and remembering our past that we do not want to repeat is our superpower, and that is where we should be guiding our future to not repeat our past. But telling somebody to, quote unquote, get educated, Linda, and telling somebody, get your bag is like somebody saying, go get the job of your dreams. Go become a homeowner. Go fix the behavior of your kids. Go and fix the city of Milwaukee. People, you can't tell somebody to get educated because they don't know how. You can't tell somebody to go and get their bag because they don't know how. If people knew how, they would do these things. And then you asked a little while ago, why is life so complicated? Because it is, Linda. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay. And if I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, how can I plan for it?
But see, the thing is, Sharon, I can't tell you what to do or how to do it. I can only tell you what is good to do. And it is good to build your bag. It is good to be educated. But guess what? The answer to that and how you go about it comes from you. It comes from within you. You know know how you can build your bag because the thought is there, the intuition is there, the insight within yourself is there.
Okay.
You know what you're good at. You know what your gift is. You know what you're drawn to. So you follow those inklings, and then you discover your power too.
All right. So when is your school open?
Hopefully in September of 26, Sherwin.
All right. You've been talking about that.
Really?
Goodbye, Linda. Good luck.
I love it.
Good luck
Bye-bye.
with your school. Okay, then. Bye-bye. Oh, people have the best advice on how you have to do this and do that. Then your life will just be perfect. January 20th, Monday, in the year of our Lord, 2025, we commemorate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. We also witnessed the ending of an era, a political era of Joe Biden, who is no longer the 46th president of the United States, a man who got into public service because he was aggrieved by the abuse of power he saw during Watergate, during Richard Nixon's second term. That was the momentum behind Joe Biden wanting to run for the U.S. Senate. Joe Biden becomes vice president under Barack Obama. Then Joe Biden gets elected in November of 2020, serves one term as president, turns the keys of his campaign over to Kamala Harris, who in a whirlwind sprint of 108 days failed to secure enough electoral votes to beat Donald Trump, an authoritarian who has been known to abuse his power and get away with it, now has the distinct honor and pleasure of leading this great nation for the next 4 years. So the abuse of power that started Joe Biden's career is also the abuse of power that effectively ended it. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win. And how many games? 6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/the reason to get started.
A deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
We shall overcome. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome. Though I join hands so often with students and others behind jail bars singing it, we shall overcome. Sometimes we've had tears in our eyes when we joined together to sing it, but we still decided to sing it. We shall overcome. No, before this victory is won, some will have to get thrown in jail some more, but we shall overcome. Don't worry about us. Before the victory is won, some of us will lose jobs, but we shall overcome. Before the victory is won, even some will have to face physical death. But if physical death is the price that some must pay to free their children from a permanent psychological death, then nothing shall be more redemptive. We shall overcome. Before the victory is won, some will be misunderstood and called bad names and dismissed as rabble-rousers and agitators, but we shall overcome. And I'll tell you why. We shall overcome because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. We shall overcome because Carlyle is right. No lie can live forever. We shall overcome because William Cullen Bryant is right. Truth crushed to earth will rise again. We shall overcome because James Russell Lowell is right. Truth forever on the scaffold, wrong forever on the throne. Yet that scaffold sways the future, and behind the dim unknown standeth God within the shadow, keeping watch above his own. We shall overcome because the Bible is right. You shall reap what you sow. We shall overcome. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome. And with this faith, we will go out and adjourn the councils of despair and bring new light into the dark chambers of pessimism. And we will be able to rise from the fatigue of despair to the buoyancy of hope. And this will be a great America. We will be the participants in making it so. And so as I leave you this evening, I say, walk together, children. Don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the corner.
Welcome back to the program. Zach, what you got for me?
Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous hilltops of California, but God, we're asking you not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Oh, let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee.
Do we know who this guy is? Let's quote Dr. King and Trump's
every hill
inauguration.
And every molehill in Mississippi, from every state.
This is the last person that needs to be quoted during Donald Trump's inauguration. Do not take the legacy of the man that you killed. If y'all want to know what white supremacy is, find the most exceptional leader that can build coalitions in a nation that was even more fractured then than it is right now. A man of the cloth, a man who was nonviolent, who preached nothing but peace. They killed him. And now we celebrate his legacy, overlooking the fact that someone who was doing their absolute best to bring this nation to a point where we just recognized each other's humanities and didn't make laws and rules and ordinances segregating and separating people, which of course hurt those that are poor, working class, and marginalized. They killed him, yet we're supposed to be happy and celebrating his birthday today. Now, I can look at the progress that he made, and I can look at all the different springboards from which many of us jumped to achieve some of the heights that we have achieved. But at the end of the day, this nation killed him. And no one has apologized for it. And at the same time, from thehill.com, a Georgia appeals court on Friday affirmed the dismissal of 6 counts in the state's 2020 election interference against President-elect Donald Trump and his allies, upholding a trial judge's decision that the charges must be thrown out due to a lack of detail. The court said, "We find that the indictment fails to include enough detail to sufficiently apprise the defendants of what they must be prepared to meet so that they can intelligently prepare for their defenses." Judge E. Trenton Brown III wrote for a 3-judge panel, which ruled unanimously. Trump faced 3 of those charges, which notably involve his effort to pressure Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to, quote, find 11,779 votes, enough to overturn President Biden's victory in the state. That in and of itself is the crime, ladies and gentlemen. That was the crime. But this judge says, well, there's not sufficient evidence and information for the Trump team to prepare their defense. All of the charges dropped pertain to efforts to solicit Georgia officials to violate their oaths of office, but do not impact the Racketeer Influenced and Corruption Organization Act, or RICO count, that each defendant faces, the count that serves as the foundation of the far-reaching prosecution. What I'm going to start doing this year and moving forward with more intention is pay attention to what the courts are doing and how they are ruling. What you're going to see, ladies and gentlemen, is Donald Trump is going to get sued just as much as he was during his first term. I also will go ahead and predict this. In 2026, the Democrats will obtain control of both the House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate. Mark my words on that. And they're going to start impeaching him all over again, because the things that he is going to do now in these next 2 years before the Democrats are able to go out and hopefully win the next national elections are going to be just as, if not more, egregious and illegal than the things that got him impeached in 2020 and 19 and 18 and during his first term. He will be impeached again. Some of the things and executive orders that he is going to support are going to be in federal court, where we now will have sycophant judges that are now auditioning for the Supreme Court. Guess who's probably going to retire? Clarence Thomas. And when Clarence Thomas retires, they're going to find a judge even more conservative than him. See, what happens is when you have party agreement with the political affiliations of the justices, they wait until someone of their same party affiliation gets elected. That's when they retire. Had Ruth Bader Ginsburg retired when Obama was president, we could have replaced her with another left-leaning liberal judge. But she stayed on and died conveniently when Trump was president, giving Donald Trump 1, 2, 3 Supreme Court picks. And what did he do? Put in pro-life judges to overturn Roe versus Wade. Per curiam, which means an order of the court, as of January 19th, the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act will make it unlawful for companies in the United States to provide services to distribute, maintain, and or update the social media platform Tik Tok, unless U.S. operation of the platform is severed from Chinese control. Petitioners are 2 TikTok operating entities and a group of U.S. TikTok users. The court considers whether the act, as applied to petitioners, violates the First Amendment, and it did not. Shout out to all of you that put me over my tip jar goal. I came into the show today in my virtual tip jar. There it is. Trying to raise money for Axe Housing and supporting their mission of affordable homes in our community. I just needed $123 to meet my goal of $500, but y'all went crazy. I got over $600 in the tip jar. Let's keep it going, Truth Nation. Let's keep it going. I am beating my competition, D. Kemp, and if you guys are unaware, on January 27th, next Monday, from 5:30 until 7:30, I will be bartending at the Blue Lounge at the Pfister Hotel. Go to axehousing.org/blue, that is BLU. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.
The MPS City Conference basketball season is starting to heat up, and we are bringing you all the live hoops action right here on 101.7 The Truth. Tune in Tuesday. We have a classic conference matchup as the Bradley Tech Trojans host longtime